So I really have no idea where this came from, except for the fact that the only vegetable I had in the house was a couple of boxes of those sliced shiitake mushrooms. So from there, we get to this. So here it is. It's basically a pound and a quarter of shiitake mushrooms sliced up. I've got 3 tablespoons of olive oil and 3 tablespoons of butter in here at medium heat. I want to get this to the point where it's foaming so that I can then throw the mushrooms in. So it's starting to do that now. You can see it's almost completely melted. It's foaming up. Don't have to wait for it to melt all the way. I'm going to throw in the mushrooms. Okay. And then on top of that, I'm going to throw here, this is like a half of a tablespoon of salt. Okay. The rest of the ingredients I have that are ready to go here are, I have beef base. Okay. I got a cup of that. To use that, you can use that as if you want, or if you want to go vegetarian completely, you can go ahead and you can use other stuff that you can get a mushroom broth. You can get some red miso, that works very well too. Tablespoon of Dijon mustard, a quarter cup of cognac. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper in this too. Now I heated, like I said, I heated up the butter and the oil, and I put the mushrooms in. I put the salt on. And the idea here is that I want to cook this for about 5 minutes, but I'm not really trying to saute. What I'm trying to do, and get a little bit nice flavor on it with the butter and the oil, what I'm really trying to do is start to draw the water out of it, because the water in the mushrooms is going to be part of the braising liquid. So I'm going to cook this. It's probably going to take about 5 minutes, but I'm not going to dry it out. I don't want to dry it down and have it, cooking in the oil and butter. I want it to form, give me some of that delicious mushroom water. So let's get to that point where we've got mushroom water in here, and the mushrooms are starting to cook, and then we'll come back. All right, so it's been a few minutes, and I've got a little layer here of mushroom water. I can see it bubbling here, in here, and I haven't gotten all the water out. The rest is going to come out and join all this in the next phase of the cook. So what's the next phase? All right, I'm going to add all of the rest of the ingredients. So here is my cognac. All right, I've got my Dijon mustard. Put in there. And then I'm going to put in some of this beef base. And the idea here is I'm braising, right? I don't want to boil this. I'm not going to put it in. So however much I need to get the liquid about halfway up on the mushrooms so that they'll cook in that, they'll braise in that. And it looks like I used about half, maybe a little bit more than half of it. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. I'm just going to let this sit here and braise. The last thing I said I was going to add was a few grinds of black pepper. Okay, and what I want to do now is essentially I want to just slowly cook this, slowly braise it, and have the rest of the water come out of the mushrooms and all the flavors get into it. And then I want it to thicken. I want it to have like a thick sauce. That's going to take a little bit of time, and we'll come back when that's done. So I did just want to show you, it's been cooking a little bit more than 10 minutes. I just wanted to show you. I got this low braise going on. And you see that the mushrooms are still above the surface of the water a bit. What's happening is that the mushrooms are giving up their water, but the water's evaporating. So the mushrooms are shrinking, but the water's staying a little bit below the level of the mushrooms. So, basically, and I do stir it up like that every once in a while. And it's going to take a while longer. I mean, you got to be patient with this dish. So we'll be back when it's actually done. All right, so now it's done, right? You can see I made the sauce. It's sort of thick, right? Like so. It's not water. I don't have a lot in there. It's just the idea if I want to have a little bit of sauce on it. I don't want to do anything else to it. It's fine the way it is. I'm going to taste. Always taste, right? I'd like a little more pepper. You're probably not going to argue with that.
I usually don't.
Yeah. Salt's fine. That amount of salt was fine when everything eventually reduced down.
This smells wonderful, by the way. You can't smell it. I can.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, that's it. So, they weren't sauteed. They were braised. So they're still nice and moist. and they've got a little bit of sauce on them. So why don't you give it a taste? What we're expecting here is a kind of a deep, earthy umami from the shiitake mushrooms. It's going to be enriched by the butter and the beef base. Okay. And then you got that hit of Dijon in here. And it's kind of this warm aromatic finish from the cognac and the black pepper.
I can definitely pick up the Dijon mustard and definitely the pepper. And there's that little hint of something alcoholic was in here, but I don't know that I'd say cognac. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So,
got nice, makes a nice little touch on it. And again, some people, I might like a little more Dijon, right?
right.
A little more.
Right.
So this is a starting point. And from here, you could probably add stuff. I wouldn't take anything out. You can probably add, you get a little more. Now, people are going to say, okay, so what about tarragon? Could you put tarragon? Could you put herb de Provence? Or where's the garlic? Where's the shallots? You could do that if you're so inclined.
Mm.
I personally think that this is a mushroom dish.
Yeah.
And you really want to enjoy the mushrooms.
Yeah, if I were to put an herb in there, it probably would be thyme. I think tarragon would be a little strong. It's just a personal.
Yeah, but I think it's great the way it is.
It's great the way it is.
We will see you next time.